What is up, gang? Back with another daily vlog. I know that last vlog I said that these were gonna be daily, and it's been, I think, around 500 days since my last one. But for the next 500 days, I'm gonna upload 2 vlogs every day to kind of make up for it. So a lot of content should be coming your way. I just woke up. We've got a big day. First things first, gonna get something to eat. Then I'm going to go to class. Oh yeah. I go to my ensemble, and then later tonight we're doing my first open mic. My mother convinced me to do a little bit of stand-up, so I'm gonna see how that goes. Morning routine.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Epic.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. Oh, that's so sick. Radical.
Alrighty, gang, heading to my first and only class of the day. Just an hour ensemble. Go play drums for an hour, and I'm free for the rest of my day. Let's fucking get it. Gang, all right, I'm back from class. I'm gonna do a little bit of homework. Think I'm gonna head to the gym, show you guys my split, publicly humiliate myself by exposing how little weight I can move. But it's for content, so it's okay. And then, yeah, I think I'll be heading down to Osage. Quick little pit stop here. What does a recording engineer do for homework? Let me freaking show you. I've got this here. It's a mixed visualization. If an instrument is made up of higher frequencies, it goes up higher. Lower made up of lower. If it's very wide, that means that, it takes up a lot of space. It's very clear. If it's in front of a lot of stuff, that means it's very loud. Like the vocals are louder than the snare, and it's louder than the kick, and it's louder than the pad because it's in front of all of it. If it's off to the side, that means you really only hear it like in your left headphone. Like the tambourine is in the left headphone, the shaker's in the right headphone. I've only got one of these left, and it's King Kunta, and I'm not looking forward to it. I really love listening to the song, but everything on TPAB, To Pimp a Butterfly, has about, 50,000 fucking instruments in it, and I don't want to keep track of all that shit. Bang, all done. Now it's time to become the world's strongest man. Alrighty, gang, heading to the gym. I do an upper-lower split. Today's upper, so that should be pretty fun. I think a lot of the footage from the gym is going to be not very good, because I cannot particularly afford the aura loss of setting up my phone at the gym to lift, newbie weight. So yeah, I'll see you guys there. Alrighty, gang. Successful gym visit. I went earlier in the day than I usually do. Had a lot more energy than I usually do. Still, not a lot of people there. Super nice. I'm very close to doing a plate on either side for reps for bench press, which has been a big goal. I was right about the angles. As you saw, most of them were up the taint. I would not have guessed there was so much up the taint action. But I'm just gonna go home. I'm gonna eat. And I'm gonna drive to Osage. Goodbye. Oh, freaking crap. I forgot to tell you guys what I'm having for lunch. It's just pesto chicken from leftover chicken salad with some fuck-ass noodles. Alright, guys. Heading down to Osage now. On the way down, I'm going to listen to an Art Lown, Lown album. Piper Oz the Hound, I believe. It's a beautiful, beautiful fall day out, and it's a nice, like, little old country album. I think it'll match the vibe nicely. I'll tell you guys what I think about it after the drive. Yeah. We're back. If you're a long-time viewer of the vlogs, you recognize that place. God damn it. Okay, I listened to the album, and it's one of them albums. Spotify says that the album came out in 2021, but it's one of those albums that, like, sounds like it's really old. Like, production is, like, shitty on purpose, and it's, like, the old country style, and it's supposed to sound like it's just, like, just like a record that you found in your grandma's house. It reminds me of, like, other bands who try to do the same thing, like Three Sacred Souls or Ultra 54, where they're, like, supposed to sound old, but they're new. And I fucking hate them. I don't like them because they, like, emulate a sound, and, like, part of enjoying a very old song is, like, wow, this song is, like, 70 years old and it still fucking slaps. Like, there's some sort of, like, universality in the human experience that 70 years ago somebody had something to express, and now in a completely different world I still relate to it. It's like, man, that's beautiful. Also, it's a great song. It's been 70 years and it still sounds fucking fresh. That's a good song. But obviously, if it's new, it doesn't fucking have any of that. Also, like, the old songs, like, weren't trying to go for, like, that old sound. Like, that was the sound at the time, and they were making their contributions, and they were, doing that sound, adding their own style to it, innovating it, creating the sound of that era. And, like that's part of the cool part. And, like, when it's, like, made now, it's just like, you know what comes before it, all through it, like, everything that sound would become, and like, what it led into. Like, you have all the context that they didn't have, and it's not original. You're just copying. Everything sonically is just, a copy. So the only thing that's yours is, like, the songs, like the songs themselves, just like the notes you play, the notes you sing, yada yada. That being said, I did a little more research, and our Arch Loan actually is old. That album came out in 1977. Still fucking sounds like it's from like the 60s, but I don't think that's on purpose. I think that he just was never a big artist and he just couldn't afford like a good recording studio, so he kind of had to use like the 10-year-old shitty stuff. And it's cool. That being said, there was like a lot more like classic rock influences than I would have liked. I'm not big on that. The two songs that I knew beforehand fucking slap. I do really like them. I'm talking about What It Takes to Make You Love Me and like Knew You Well. Those are fucking heaters. The rest of the album is fine. It does have a lot of what I like about country. You know, acoustic guitars, male singing with sadness, you know, the slide guitar, and it doesn't have the shit that I don't like a lot of twang in the voice. Art sings more like a like a crooner than anything, than like a fucking hoochie coochie, you know. So that's nice. I don't like fucking fiddles. No fiddles in there. And I don't like those fuck-ass honky-tonk pianos. And there was none of that in there. Overall, it was a bit disappointing, bit boring of a listen. But it was still nice. I would check it out. My mother said that she wanted to leave by 5. It is almost exactly 5, so I've got to head the fuck out. Bye. Sorry, that was weird. Ran back to my car. Cannot forget this. This is my prized possession. I'm going to write down all the jokes from my phone onto the notepad. That way, you know, I seem a little more professional. It doesn't look like I'm just on my phone. And, yeah, I really like this journal. I used to actually journal in it. I write down all my song ideas in it. Longtime viewers of the channel will know that I wrote my old stand-up set down on this back when I did it with the Fortnite Gamers. So yeah, if I lost this, I'd probably cry for a little bit. I originally got it because I stole it from an old lady. I was cleaning out her closet for money, and she had about 3 or 4 notebooks, and I said, I want one of those. And I stuck it in my shirt, and I walked away with it. So, what can you do? Alrighty, gang, here in Emporia, about an hour before the show. Everybody's wondering, Gavin, are you nervous? Answer is, of course not. I never get nervous. I'm pretty nervous. There's a lot of things that could go wrong. First off, a majority of the audience is gonna be my parents and the people that my parents brought. Which means in total there's gonna be about 12 people. And so it would be very easy to bomb. Very easy to bomb. I'm also worried about like switching my words around and ruining a joke. Also, I have a lot of nervous tics, like I fuck with my hair. A bad one is that I like hold my zipper. If I spend this whole set with my hand on my dick, I'm gonna be pissed. I'll check back in after the set.
I don't get everyone. I like fat people who get really strong and then they put on a hoodie and look fat again. And then right back where you started.
Okay, I thought it was pretty darn good. I was cracking up just about as much as your mom was.
What the fuck is up, guys? It's nighttime. Got done doing the little performance. Went, well enough. Definitely overall a bit of an aura loss. There was probably about 16 people there, and I think I had most of them laughing at about 30% capacity. One other dude did stand up. He was on the spectrum. He was closer to the autism side on the spectrum than the not autistic side. And he you know, he kind of had the, what's the deal with tuna fish? Nothing else is called tuna. What do you need the fish for? It's redundant. And so that made me feel a little bit better, because a lot of people didn't laugh at him. About everybody else did poetry, though. I was not prepared for that. The girl who went on right after me had a little poem about how she wants to kill herself. And I was like, the vibe in this room is odd. It was also their first stand-up, it was their first open mic ever. They didn't have any background music. Just a person would leave the stage, about 5 to 10 seconds of dead silence, and then the MC would be like, okay, and now welcome to the stage, the next person. And then about another 10 seconds of silence, and then they would do their thing. The vibe in the theater was, it was a bad vibe, but I'm glad I did it. You know, I'm probably gonna try some other open mics now, but I was saving that one to be my first one, to dip my toes in. And yeah, you know, I got back to my parents' house. You know, I just wanted to stretch my legs. I did a little lap around the house. And you know, going back to your parents' house always gets you in a nostalgic mood. You're never really in the present moment when you go back to your childhood home. That's my water bottle, sorry. But yeah, just walking around reminded me of the COVID summer, and how many hours I would spend walking around that yard then, and just, you know, remember old time. I remembered old time, and now I'm in a reminiscent mood. I think I'm going to listen to some bad music that I thought was good several years ago, and I'm gonna drive back to my home in Kansas City. The open mic was supposed to end at 10, and it's 10 right now, so that's awesome. I'm very glad that it got over early, because Daddy has shit to do. So yeah, I'll probably give you an outro back at my apartment. So bye guys, thanks. Well, that's my day. I'm just gonna hop in the shower now and go to bed. If you made it this far into the video, thank you. The drive was nice. I have a big playlist that goes from like early 7th grade around 2018 all the way up to like around 2022, and I knew the vibe that I was looking for was somewhere in there, and I went a little too early, and it kind of reminded me of the times where you would play like Truth or Dare, and it seemed like the craziest thing ever. You're like, I might get a hand job out of this, and obviously that never happened. But it was nice. I didn't film any of it because it was pitch black outside. I've got a lot of editing ahead of me. I've got lots of crazy partying and lots of hard working ahead of me, so I've really got to hit the hay. But just, you know, thanks for watching. Hope you liked it. Hope you liked the music. My goal is to not get copyright striked. So, yeah, I haven't edited. Jesus. Obviously, I haven't edited it all yet, but hopefully it's just going to be my music throughout the whole vlog. So hopefully you were a fan of it. And thank you. And